Okay, my name is Bill Jarrett, and I am doing packet tracer activity D2-537 with Cam Studio Recording. This is on configuring a Cisco router as a DHCP server, and I'll read the instructions because they're quite detailed. Several pieces of information need to be known. In this activity, you will continue to configure the Cisco 1841 Integrated Services router for the customer network by configuring the DHCP service. The customer has several workstations that need to be automatically configured with IP addresses on the local subnet and appropriate DHCP options to allow access to the Internet. The DHCP pool will use the 192.168.1.0/24 network, but the first 49 addresses are excluded. The default gateway and DNS server also need to be configured as 192.168.1.1 and 192.168.1.10. For this activity, both the user and privileged exec passwords are Cisco. And note, Packet Tracer does not currently support the domain name and lease period options. These options are not used in this activity. So the first thing we have to do is configure the DHCP service. So from the customer workstation, I have to use a console cable and terminal emulation software to connect to the console customer's Cisco 1841 ISR, which is this guy right here, from this guy right here. So let's grab a console cable, plug in, and plug into our router here. And let's try and connect up. Terminal, okay. And it let me in. Awesome. That is just totally awesome. Okay. So, need to get into global configuration mode first. So, I need to enable, which will be Cisco again, and go conf t, get global configuration mode. Now that we're in global configuration mode, we can start playing around a little bit. So, before we can create a DHCP pool, we have to configure the addresses that are going to be excluded. And we read before that that's from 192.168.1.1 to 192.168.1.49. So we're going to use a excluded address command by simply typing in IP DHCP excluded dash address. Now we include the range of IP addresses that we want excluded from the beginning, which is 192.168.1.1 through 192.168.1.49. And that should exclude that entire range so that they will not be used. Now we're going to create our DHCP pool and call it pool 1. And we're going to simply do that by saying IP DHCP pool and then the name of it, pool 1. So now that we've declared that, we're going to define the network address range for our pool. So we say network 192.168.1.0. So that's the network. Above, we've already defined, oops, gotta get back down here, that this was the range that we excluded, which would have been 192.168.1 from 1 through 49. So we know that 192.168.1 is our network address. And then 1 through 49 are already excluded. Okay, now also this is a Class C address, 255.255.0. So we have to include the subnet. Okay, now that we've declared what our network range is, we need to define our DNS server. So we just simply do that by saying, like most other things, just declare it. DNS server 192.168.1.10. Okay. And we'll set our default gateway. Again, that's very simple. I wish it was default gateway, but it's not. It's default router. 192.168.1.1. Okay. Ooh, careful. So next, after that, we're going to go ahead and just simply exit out of our terminal. So I'll go ahead and type exit. Okay. Ah, darn it. Copy. Run. Start. I think I've already done all that, so I can just exit. Exit. Okay, I'm completely out. Now, so what I want to do is get out of here, come back in here, and from my command prompt, I need to basically release my current IP address and get a new one. So I'm simply going to type in ipconfig and then slash and then release. Okay, so it has now released my IP address. And then the next thing I want to do is basically renew my IP address. So I type in ipconfig, and you guessed it, renew. So it queried the server, and it gave itself a brand new IP address. Now we'll notice where the IP address started at, which was 50, because remember, we excluded 1 through 49, which is why it's starting at 50. Alright, we see that the subnet mask is correct. Default gateway is 1.1, and DNS servers is 10, just like we had set everything up. So I know that we've done it right. It looks really good. So that's the end of this particular packet tracer activity. I hope you enjoyed it.